Hi guys, this is Raquel with paintsandglitter.com, and if you're joining me today, we will be making a card together using Cricut Design Space and the newest mystery box release, which, well actually it's not a new release, but it was included in July's mystery box. We're going to be using Splendid Soirees by Anna Griffin. So I will walk you through the steps on how to make the card that we will be working on today. If you're logged into Design Space, you have the option of creating a new project by either selecting that option on the upper right hand corner of your screen, or here at the bottom where it says My Projects, you can select the plus sign here. I'm going to go ahead, and since I already have the project started, I'm going to go up here to this drop down menu and just click on Canvas because I have the images already there. And the way that you would find this is, if you purchase the mystery box, is you would go to your images once you've already linked your cartridge, and as you can see it shows up here because I had searched for it, but if you had this as a blank menu here, you would just go to cartridges and then select in the search bar here, you would just type in Splendid or Soirees or even Anna. I'm going to type Splendid. Sorry, that's not the spelling. Splendid. I'm trying to do this as I look at the camera. Okay, and then select this icon here to search, and it's going to give you the images or the cartridge that has the word Splendid in the cartridge. So Anna's Splendid Soiree shows up, and as it shows here, because I linked it, it does say purchased, and I can see all of the images there. And then what I decided to do was, there's a lot here to select from. They're all beautiful, but I went with this card here, or actually no, that wasn't it. Let me see here. It is the bow, this one here with the bow, and it comes with the envelope. So I selected that, and I just clicked Insert Images, and now that's on my canvas. So I want to show you here. The images, actually, when you insert your images, it just shows one card. And I guess I should do it over again. Let me go ahead and insert it so that you see what I'm talking about. And I'm sorry, I tried to film this earlier and my camera would not cooperate. So, okay, so here it is. You're going to see it in a moment. Okay, so here's what you actually get on the canvas. I'm just going to move these images back here out of the way because I had ungrouped them. Okay, so this is what you get here. You get an envelope and then the little card and the bow, but it has these little holes there, which, because this is supposed to be an invitation set, my guess is that this is so that you can put, I don't know if it would be for a Brad or, you know, to be quite honest, I have no idea why they put that hole there, but I didn't want that there. So what I did was I selected up here, Ungroup. Okay, you're going to see that those images then are individual. When you are working with individual images, that's when you can alter them. Okay, in this case now it's 3 instead of just all 1 together. I highlighted the bow and I went down here to contour. And then what I did was I clicked on that little part there that I didn't want to cut out. Okay, and now you see that little hole is gone. So I did that for all 3 of these. And then I had a solid card here, so I'll go ahead and show you. I'm just going to go ahead and contour that. And okay, so now I have my images as I want them here, but I noticed that this is just one little card, and I wanted a card that would open. So what I did with this was that I duplicated it here on my menu. Okay, I lined it up, all right, and you guys are seeing a whole bunch of stuff here that you don't need to see, so let me make sure that I move it out of the way. All right. So here what I did was I took my two little cards that I wanted to work with. To make sure that they were both the same size, I just duplicated the one that I already had. I click duplicate. I have my second card, and now I highlight both, and I go up here to align, and I align, I center them horizontally, and for some reason it already had something else selected, so that's not something that I want. I want to make sure that it's just these two guys here. Okay, here we go. So I'm aligning them horizontally, or centering them, sorry. Now they're centered. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a shape, which is going to be a score line. And that score line is going to show up somewhere else up here. I can bring that down. And what I'll do is I'll grab it there on that little plus sign. And I'm going to flip it and make sure that it's the size that I need for the card. I'll do that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go over here to the menu, and I'm going to hide it because I still need to work with the cards first. What I want to do is I want to select both of them, and I want to go down here to the menu and weld so that they become one. And now I can go ahead and unhide that little score line. It shows up again. And I want to select my card. I think I need to move back the card. Okay, I'm going to highlight this. I'm arranging it and moving it backward. There we go. Okay, so I can see my score line, but in any case I want to go ahead and select all of it, and now I want to click attach over here, and now I've made a card. If you see, now it's all together. I've made a card that's twice the size of my original one, that's got a score line right in the middle. I can fold it and then place my items or my images on top. I went ahead and left the size the same because I wanted to work with the card as it was, and then the little envelope cuts out also. I picked out some pretty papers that I liked, and I'm going to now show you what it looks like when it's all cut out. Okay guys, so now I have all the pieces cut out of the card. Just as I showed you, I had welded the two squares to make a card that would have a score line in the middle. The Cricut will prompt you to make sure that you do place your score tool in the Cricut before it cuts. And then the bow image I cut out in this the Cricut pearl paper that was included also in the mystery box, and then I cut the envelope in the pearl paper that was included. That's the silver, the shadow of the bow, as well as the little piece that goes in the center. And the floral paper is a different collection that I had. So then all you need to do is take your paper and fold it. You can follow that score line and it'll look like that. Then I like to score, of course, the envelope. Sorry about that. So you can follow the score lines there also. And this pearl paper is really beautiful. It's got a nice sheen to it, and it's a lightweight paper, but it's pretty sturdy, even though it's very thin. It's not the kind of paper that will crack like other papers that are not as good a quality. So I'm just scoring the little envelope, as you can see there. And now I can assemble my card. And what I'll do first is I'm going to place my bow pieces together. And I'm going to use a liquid adhesive for this. And I'm just using Scotch It's called Tacky Glue, and this is my favorite adhesive because it dries quickly, it dries clear, and it holds different mediums very well, whether it be paper or ribbon. Okay, so this is what the bowl starts looking like, and even though it's gray and cream, I just think that's a really pretty combination because it also pulled the colors out of the card. Has those colors in it. Actually, it doesn't have cream in it, but it has a nice soft white. So I thought that would look really pretty. And this, I guess, goes like this. There we go. I had that wrong the first time. So there's the little bow. And that just goes on top of this card. It doesn't have a score line to tell you where to line up the bow, but it's pretty self-explanatory. And I'm just going to make sure that this is adhered on here. And then we can move on to the envelope. So the Cricut, the Design Space right now also allows you to select the weight of the papers that you're using with a drop-down menu. When you click Make It, you'll see on the screen that it says the kind of papers that you use if you have used the custom dial. So there's a dial on your Cricut. If you select custom, you can actually go through a drop-down menu and select pearl paper or Cricut pearl paper, and that's what this cream and silver paper would be. If not, you can just use your cardstock setting and it'll cut fine. Okay, I like to reinforce, as you can see there, when I place something on a card, I like to reinforce it with a bone folder to make sure that that adhesive gets everywhere without seeping through. And then here, I like to use a dry adhesive. So I'm just going to use this adhesive here that tears off easily. And before I adhere that, I like to place the card in the envelope to make sure that it fits. And it looks like that's going to be just fine. So I can now, sometimes I use a needle or the one of the sharp tools to separate the adhesive because it's pretty tacky. Okay. There's that. And then I can fold it closed very gently, then remove the card. And that's when I reinforce that adhesive. And now I have a pretty envelope with a card that will go together very nicely. They coordinate perfectly, and it took only a few minutes to make. I can also handwrite the sentiment, or I can select to make that with the Cricut as well. That's not very difficult to do. Because this paper is thin, I would opt for sorry about the camera there, but I would opt for writing it on a separate piece of paper and then adhering it to this, just because this is not very heavy cardstock. If not, then you can certainly do that with your Cricut as well, and before you even have assembled your card, you already have your sentiment on the inside. Okay guys, so I went ahead and showed you how to assemble the card and envelope from the Anna Griffin Sophisticated Soirees cartridge that came in the July Mystery Box from Cricut, and I wanted to, in addition to that, show you another really beautiful cut from that same cartridge in case you want to give a gift set, and that is this beautiful little box that you can also make. It almost looks like a little purse, and I was going to walk you through the assembly, but it is quite simple. So as you can see, it's got the little opening here, and I'll show you how that folds out. So if you see, when you're putting it together, you're going to want to fold there, as well as the little handles. It does have a little fold on each, a little score line that you can follow there. And then these little tabs here fold to the inside, okay? And then the bottom is just a simple box bottom. I used dry adhesive to put it together. That's just one of these score tapes that you can just put on the little tabs, and it only has one tab. Let's see if I can find the seam here. So it only has one little tab here, and then it has the 3 on the bottom. Okay, so again, you just push in those little middle pieces, and then that top part feeds into the slot that gets cut out with your Cricut, and there you have this beautiful little box that's perfect for like a gift card. And then what I wanted, or a little gift, what I wanted to show you was for the cartridge also cuts out rosettes, and that's something that's really beautiful that you can use to alter any item or make it look really pretty. And what I did was that I cut out a rosette to go with the little box, and because I wanted it quite small, I didn't want all of the details that cut out, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. It's supposed to cut out like a doily edge, and so when I saw that, I thought, you know, that's going to be too small for the size rosette that I need. So basically if you select the lace rosette from this cartridge, it's going to automatically only put one on your canvas, but you need 8 for a small rosette. Okay, and you can make them as big or as small as you want, but for a very small one you need at least 8. So what I did was I placed the rosette on my canvas, I selected it, and then I selected detach on my menu. When I selected detach, it took off the score marks from the actual die, or the image I should say. And then once I had those score lines detached, I was able to hide contour on everything. I just clicked the contour button and hide all contour, and then I only allowed for the actual image to still show. So that took away all of the little lacy details from the edge, and it allowed me to size that image much smaller, because this one is only, let's see here, this one is 1.26 by 1.35. That's how small it cut out. And what you see here are actually 4 glued end to end, because then once you have it accordion folded, and hopefully you know how to do that by now, if not, then it's just a mountain valley fold, and like you're making a little fan. Okay, so you just reinforce all of those fold lines, and you do that with every single piece. Okay, and I highly recommend a bone folder for that. Alright, so you reinforce those fold lines, and you do it for all 8 pieces, and then once you have them reinforced, you glue them end to end, like one long strip of paper. That's what it's going to look like. Okay, so there's 4 and 4 glued together, and once those are put together, you can then glue those end to end, because you want to form a circle with this. And if you have too much adhesive, I just take it off with my finger like so. And I'm not too worried about the placement of the mountain valley folds at this point. Okay, but you'll get the idea once you see how this comes together. Okay, so there's that piece. And now, once that's really nice and dry, and while that dries, I want to show you the other pieces that cut out. It cuts out the little circle, okay, which I did in the silver to match what I already have, and then the little back of the banner, the little banner piece. What I did was I cut out the circle twice, and I'll show you why. But now that that's dry, I'm going to start shaping this like a circle. Okay, because the idea is that I'm going to adhere this now at the other end, like so. And making this so small, it's not for the faint of heart. If you're new to paper crafting, I recommend you not start with small projects. unless you have a lot of patience, but if you do, then go ahead. But you're lining those pieces up again, and this is the harder part because the paper has a memory and it wants to pull away. But if you're working with a larger rosette, you can use a clip, a paper clip of any sort, and then hold those pieces together. For the sake of time here, I'm just pinching it with my fingers, and it will probably not be perfect, but that's okay. I just want you guys to get the idea. I'll even just pinch all of those together like that. And the good thing is this adhesive dries really quickly, but if it dries too fast, that'll happen, which was my fear, but that's okay. Alright, let's try that again. And again, I'm just joining end to end, and I'm just going to line it up and press to get that to glue together. And then I'll show you how I assemble all of it to decorate this pretty little box. And let's see here. This cartridge is great because it has so many images that'll go together for a party. So if you like party planning, if you like to make a tablescape that looks really beautiful, you're also going to be able to make the tables, the placemat. I'm sorry, that's the word I was looking for, is placemat. Okay, so here's my little rosette, and as you see, it's wanting to pop open there. But what you want to do is you want to create a circle there in the center with the paper, if you see that. And this is where you're going to want to bring your hot glue gun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the hot glue on the little circle that I cut out. As I mentioned, I had cut 2. You want to be careful so that you don't burn yourself, but you want to focus on that circle in the center. I like to place it on top and then try to get my paper to join together with the hot glue while focusing more on those folds. Let's see here to make sure that I don't lose my shape. Okay, here we go. And then I'm just pressing down because the hot glue will dry so quickly. There we go. And if you need more, you can add more. I'm going to add more to mine. And then that's a little trick there. You can go around in a circle if you don't want to have those little spider webs. And now that I have more adhesive there in the center and it's still hot, I can place my top piece like so. And you could put a little a gem there in the center, or a pearl, anything that will make that look really pretty. And I might embellish this, but I might leave it as it is. And then once you have your rosette put together, which again, this one's not perfect, but there we go. Not too bad. Once you have it all put together, then you can put the that back piece on. Okay. So I'm going to use my hot glue again. Now I want mine to show, and it's rather short, so I'm just going to put it on as low as I can there. And you could put more than one of these. It just, by default, cuts one. So I left it as that. And then now you have a beautiful little rosette that you can place on your bag to finish that off. And like I said, you could put a gem on the center. You could even put someone's initials there if you wanted to. I think I'm going to put mine on this side here, like that. So I'm going to put some adhesive here. And this will finish my bag. I just want to make sure the tail doesn't go too far down there. But now it coordinates perfectly. And I'll make sure that this is closed. But this is ready to go now. I can put a little bit of tissue paper on the inside if I want to, or embellish the top of this like I had said before. And I have a nice, beautiful coordinating set with the bag, the card, and the envelope. So hopefully you have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, please let me know. Again, I'm at paintsandglitter.com, and I thank you so much for watching and for subscribing, and I hope that this video has allowed you to learn a little bit more about how to use your Cricut and Design Space. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'm also on Instagram or at paintsandglitter@gmail.com. Be inspired and be blessed. Have a great day. Bye-bye.